Hello angels and welcome back. This video is a little bit different than my usual videos because this one is a lot more personal towards me. So last year I actually hit a milestone and I turned 30. I know, massive milestone, but for me that was my scary age. And it turns out it's actually not so scary. However, I want to share with you today my 3 biggest takeaways from turning 30. My 3 most important lessons that I've learned of being on this earth for 30 years. I mean, I could write a whole list of lessons I've learned, but these 3 seem to be the most prominent 3, the most important 3 that I want to take through into my 30s. So let's go. Okay, my number 1 top lesson has to be how it feels is so much more important than how it looks. Because let me tell you something, I spent my entire 20s chasing the picture perfect life. Anything that was luxury, anything that gave me status, anything that looked really shiny and good from the outside, I wanted it because I needed that lavish lifestyle. I needed that pro athlete boyfriend to scream out to the world, hey, look, I did something. I made something of myself. I needed that. So I did. I went on and manifested being a wag. I manifested the relationship. I manifested the beautiful Bali villa and everything else in between. And it still did not make me feel fulfilled. I'd be that person that posts their perfect life all over Instagram just to cry themselves to sleep. I was constantly seeking validation from strangers, seeking validation from anything and anyone who would give it to me. And it completely makes sense because I grew up very poor. I grew up with nothing. So I was always constantly trying to rewrite the narrative that I've been telling myself ever since I was little by gaining all these external surface level empty things in my life, and it didn't do the job. The only way I can explain it is that it looked good, it just didn't feel right to me. Not because of the limiting beliefs that I've held against myself my entire life, it just didn't feel aligned. It didn't make me feel fulfilled. It didn't make me feel happy. That's why my blessing in disguise happened. Life made me hit the reset button. I mean, every single area of my life had to be reset. My relationship ended. I lost my home. I had nowhere to live. I had emptied out my savings because I was living off them because I was in New Zealand for 6 months with my then partner. I had no furniture, no career. I had nothing besides me and a couple of suitcases. But that just then reaffirmed that narrative of, oh my God, I need to start again. I need to accumulate all these beautiful things because I need to show everyone else, hey, I made it. I did something with myself. Look at me. So I moved to Bali, got the pretty villa, did everything, dated the guys who looked good, who gave status, and I ended up in the same goddamn place. It was like the universe was yelling at me, what the hell are you doing? Learn the lessons. Like I kept managing to get to level 6, but the universe kept knocking me back to the start. I got to a point where I was like, I don't need all this stuff. I've accumulated so much shit in my life that I do not need. And that pretty big villa, I said, I couldn't even sleep in it because I was scared of sleeping there alone. Got to a point where I was just like, who the hell am I? Because I've lost who I am. I've been wearing this mask and trying to accumulate all these things that look great and I look great, but then who the hell am I under all that? So I started asking the question, does this genuinely feel good? Does this genuinely align to me? And one of the biggest eye-openers of this lesson was in my dating life. Because I'm going to be honest, I was always the girl that preached about the fact she was going to marry a rich man because God forbid I'd be able to do that myself. That was never an option. It was always, I had to marry into that to get that. And I'm not even a marriage kind of girl, but if it's a rich billionaire, you want to bet your ass it probably would be. And then something bizarre happened. I ended up dating a guy who is not my usual type at all. Someone that I would never usually go for. The physical aspects, in the material aspects, the financial, the job, like whatever. But my normal superficial boxes weren't getting ticked by this guy, essentially. And no one in this world has ever treated me so well than this person. I have never been loved in the way I got loved by him. I've never known a safe love where I could just be fully myself, my goofy, authentic, normal self without having to hide it or make me look better or quieten myself down. Just simply fully accepted for who I am. And I spent a lot of time in and out of that, arguing with myself and breaking up with him because it didn't look like how I thought it would look like. It's not what I envisioned for myself. And I really struggled with that. And it really brought me to this place where I'm like, no, how it feels is so much more important than how it looks because I'm the one that lives with it 24/7. I'm the one who's in it when my iPhone isn't capturing moments or other people aren't sat near us at the coffee shop. It's me. I have to live this life. It made me really sit down and get to a point where I had to admit to myself, I've been living a lot of my life trying to prove a point to everyone else of, hey, I can do this, I can achieve this, I can accomplish this, I can gain this. And by doing so, I'm ignoring all my values, ignoring what is authentically true to me and who I am and what I need and what I actually want. And when I sat with myself, I had to redefine everything. I had to redefine and get honest with what I thought success was, what I thought a relationship meant to me, what I thought a home felt like. And the second I got truly honest with myself, the second I stepped into that authenticity, manifestations came so much faster because your body cannot manifest what it knows it doesn't want. You are subconsciously rejecting that as much as you're like, yes, that's what I want. I want the massive house that I'd have to clean all the time and feel really alone in and scared in. It's not going to happen. I mean, it can, but it's going to be really difficult to do that. And it's just a disservice to yourself. So get honest as soon as you can and define what everything looks like for you, because it's different for every single one of us. The second lesson, trust the unfolding of your life. Here's the thing, when life starts to really fall apart, it's usually because it's making room for something better. I have yet to met someone who's gone through rock bottom and come back out of it the other end, not to tell me it was the best thing that ever happened to them. And I used to panic like hell when anything started crumbling down, except now that I've gone through the last 10 years of my life, I now understand that it is the unfoldment of the universe helping and co-conspiring with me to give me exactly what it is I asked for. Because as much as manifestation and personal development is thinking positive and being positive, bollocks, a lot of it is letting go and being okay with letting go. To say, okay, that no longer serves me, that needs to go. Or, okay, I trust that this is in my highest good, that this relationship had to end, that job had to end. Because how the hell are you supposed to welcome in the new when you're clinging so goddamn hard to the old? And I know that feeling because I did it for so long. I resisted change so much. And it's so ironic because I'd sit there and be like, no, I'm manifesting change. I want transformation. I want a whole new updo for my life, change the whole thing. But my entire body was petrified at the thought of change. I was staying in all the situations where I knew I wasn't happy just to avoid the discomfort of change. And most of us have. How many times have you stayed in a relationship, even though it's not your forever, even though you know you're not that happy, just to avoid the breakup part? But now I've learned that change is literally inevitable. If you don't make the change or you don't do the first couple of moves, the universe is going to come down and do it for you. And let me tell you one thing, that woman is dramatic. So trust that when you are forced to let go of something, to just let go of it. You don't need to make sense of it right now. You don't need clarification or to understand the whole thing. Just understand this. It is a process of growth. And the universe is trying to move you towards something, and you need to trust that. I mean, my goal for me is when I hit 80, I want to be able to look back at my life and think, holy shit, I lived so many lives in one life. Like, I want to be every version of me that I can possibly be in this life. And you can't really do that when you're resisting change. But I did ayahuasca for the first time, and my whole trip was basically every single version of me lined up. Like, I mean, the 2-year-old, the 5-year-old, the 9, you get the picture. And I could not comprehend for the life of me that they were all me, that they were all the same people. Because even though when I was resisting change, change was occurring. So just think about what can happen when you embrace change, when you get excited for change. Growth will happen so much faster. Okay, third and last, biggest lesson of turning 30. Your purpose is not your job. We put all this pressure onto what's my purpose? When you're a kid, you're asked, what do you want to be when you're older? And we associate purpose with the job we go on to do. But what if your purpose is just whatever's happening right now, whatever's right in front of you? And I get it. We have that societal pressure of ticking off all these boxes, get married, have kids, make bank, get the promotion, get the 9 to 5, be successful, have savings. But what if those boxes aren't for you? Because I'm here to tell you, I'm 30 and I have none of them, not even one. I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up because I'm not a person who was supposed to decide at 18 to become an accountant and stay an accountant my entire life. That's my idea of a living hell. And that's so okay. Because I've got to a point in my life where I've realized my purpose isn't tied to a job. It isn't tied to a title. It's about living authentically to me and who I am in this version of me. It's about experiencing the highs and lows and really being present and living the life I've been given. In fact, knowing that my purpose is going to change in every season depending on who I am and what I feel passionate about and what excites me and lights me up. My purpose is to feel every single emotion that's possible to me in this human experience that I'm having, and being able to expand on this version of me and being able to evolve and grow and learn. And for me, that's my purpose, to just really give this life the best shot I can at it. And that looks different for every single one of us. And you get to a point where you go, okay, I don't have it all figured out. But in fact, I'm chasing this goal of having it all figured out when no one has it all figured out. Because even when you get to a point of figuring it out, you're like, okay, I'm ready for the next stage. And you're back to square one, where you have nothing figured out all over again. So it's a bunch of nonsense. Your purpose is to be here, to be present, to live your life. Okay, those are my top 3 lessons of turning 30, but I want to hear from you because I love all this stuff. What are your top 3 lessons since turning 30, or top 3 lessons of turning 25 or 40 or 16? I want to hear them all. So as always, I will see you soon.